Hi, I'm Nikki Moran. Welcome to my blog. Do we have to please the crowd in order to make money from art? That's the topic for this blog today. I was in Bucharest last weekend and I was lucky enough to get front row seats at this open air classical concert, and it was lovely. And basically, the concert, they were playing all the kind of classic crowd pleasers, the Nutcracker Suite, all the kind of well-known ones, and the crowd are enjoying it and clapping their hands. And, it was very, very nice. I was enjoying it, but I was a tiny little bit bored until suddenly they rolled this big grand piano to the front of the stage and they started playing Rachmaninoff's Piano Concerto No. 2. Oh my God. I don't know whether you know it, but it's the most haunting piece. And the pianist was just sweat pouring off his face, and I was just gripped to my chair because it's one of my favourite pieces, and I was like, oh my God. And I started crying my eyes out. There were black mascara stained tears down my face. I must have looked an absolute sight, but I was just loving the experience because it was just so emotive. So I was just so moved by this piece. It was phenomenal. So I literally stood up out of my seat and I was clapping and cheering and going, oh, that was wonderful. And to my horror, I looked around and I was the only woman standing. And the rest of the crowd were like, totally untouched by this amazing performance. And I was gutted. Not only I was gutted for them that they didn't really appreciate the piece, but I was really upset for the pianist who looked kind of drained, exhausted, and actually very disappointed by the reaction. And I wanted to kind of jump up and go, no, honestly, you were brilliant, because I was thinking, God, he's probably going to go home and go, God, I must have been terrible, and interpret that experience that he had done something wrong. And I knew he hadn't. And it made me think about this whole idea of, as artists, what do we do when we get a reaction like that? When we bomb on stage, does it mean we've failed? Firstly, I looked at the business gurus for the answers, and their kind of objective advice around business is wants and needs. Okay, are we meeting our audience's needs? So if we look at that concert, for example, in the audience, I would say the majority of people there were probably locals. The Romanians, probably the average age was about in their 60s, I would say. And they were responding really well to the kind of upbeat, quite short numbers that were very well known. For that audience, Rachmaninoff wasn't landing. So meeting the needs of that majority of the audience, Rachmaninoff, it wasn't hitting the needs. But then it makes me question, so business gurus, great advice there, meet our audience's needs. What if we did that all the time then? Then we'd be surely dictated by the majority, and the majority probably don't want something a little edgy or a little different. Do we then sell out if you want to make art? So my answer to that, because I have got one, don't worry, my answer to that is no, you don't need to sell out to make a good living from your art. It's simply about being responsive rather than being dictated to. It's about balancing your artistic expression, the truth of who you are, expressing your work in your way, with responding to audiences. It's sensing what your audiences needs, sensing what they want from you, but also being true to yourself, right? We want our artists to be fully voiced, fully expressed, sharing their unique message, their style in their way. We also want our artists, sorry, I'm getting into character now. We want our artists to be responsive, to be empathic. We want to connect with them. There will be people on this earth who will love you. They will love your work. They will believe in you, and you will inspire them if you bring out your authentic work. That's what we want. There will be other people who will never get you. They will never get you, so forget them. Don't focus on them. We want you as artists to express your creative work in your way, from your heart. We want your full passion, and we want you to be brave. So I have a challenge for you. I want to know in the box below, have you ever been thrown off course by some negative feedback in your career? And if so, how did you respond to it? And if you were more courageous with your creative work today, what would you do? So there you have it. I'm Nikki Moran, creative coach. If you like this, please do share it around, send it to your friends. And if you want more stuff like this, do sign up to my newsletter on my homepage, which is nikkimoran.co.uk. Nice to meet you virtually, and I'll speak to you soon. Take care for now.